passion. I could never get a job, so for my dream I'm dedicated. For a second, lost myself, I was too busy getting busy. Now they see me out in public and be knowing what my name is. All these rappers want the clout and the life of being famous. I just want to be stable, tell my family.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Houston Texans. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here. Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Off of play action, it's Watson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Oh, and now he bears him over. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
From the 50, it's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On 1st down, it's Watson. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Target.
To throw is Watson. Eluding the pressure right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's going to let this one go deep. And it'll be intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is, when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
Cook. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down here early in the game.
Now he'll let it go deep right side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Steps away to his left. Pass incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Buying time to his left. And a big one goes here as he's taken down.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. This is taken at the 15. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And here comes the Texans now. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. It's a big one there for the Vikings. And even 50 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Carlson now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Looking left sideline is complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now Watson. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Watson off play action. He's going to launch this thing. Wait up. He's got it at the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one goes for 36 yards. They go play action here on 1st down. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Vikings. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment. But here, he's one that has to absorb the contact. And as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Back to throw, Watson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He got 29 yards that time.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Pushing his way through. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
That was a good forceful run, and it demonstrates why you've got to put your body on a runner when you're trying to tackle him. If you just go in there and just try and get him down with arm tackles, usually doesn't work very well. And we saw on that play, he'll run right through those attempted plays.
Richmond.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 9 yards on the play and a first down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Watson. And that one got got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 more there and another 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Back to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. In for the score. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Green the line.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way down to the 29. A big-time play there for the Texans. And even 50 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal.
Richmond.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when he clicked off.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Ben Gideon able to get in and bury him well behind the line for a loss of 17. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long after that sack. What does Watson have in his arsenal? Out of the gun, Watson. And he's going to go down again. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 46. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Back to throw here. He's going to rifle one deep, and this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. Then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And now out comes Houston. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Watson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him again. The 3rd time he sacked him here tonight.
Tiger.
3rd and long. It's Watson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. So we hit. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Accelerating, and off he goes. He's at the 30, 10, 5, and he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Well, those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. They run it again with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Carlson now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, look at the juke. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Watson on 3rd down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 39. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Or the
and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Carlson now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. To throw on second is Watson. Flush to his right. Launching one for Henderson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Tiger.
They are going for it. Here's Watson, escaping the pressure right. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've got to be saying, boy, thanks for this field position.
Yeah, remember the last drive in which they scored a touchdown. That one also began in excellent field position. So let's see if they can capitalize a second time.
He's going to fire one deep over the... It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. So the first play of the drive, they strike through the air and score it.
A lot of coaches like change of possession as a time to go ahead and strike, and that's what we saw there. Ball turned over, first play, right to the end zone.
Carlson now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Anthony Barr in there to drop him the 7th time tonight. He's gone down.
Hey. Reset.
On second down, here's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Sliding out of the pocket. And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play on third down for the Texans. 61 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Green the line! Green the line! Pick it up, defense. Let's go. Banjo, banjo, banjo. Like 5-5. Richmond.
Throwing again is Watson. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. They will indeed snap it to Watson. Rolling to his left. And now here is another interception. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coach would always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Again, it's Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And now out comes Houston. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at about the 32. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Come back, come back.
Back to the air. Watson on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, here's Watson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there again. My goodness, that is now his 4th sack tonight. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Richmond. Come back.
They're going for it. It's Watson. Now he's going to let it go deep, back over the middle. And my goodness, another interception. Trevor Williams with a pick. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down, and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away, and it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And that is incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here. He may try and run for this. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They'll try and throw for it here. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. So with the pass being completed, they'll go ahead and take that instead.
Nothing extra to be gained. Pass interference at the spot, completed the pass. That was your play, so it might as well have not even had the penalty.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll run with Cook. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. He's definitely making his mark early in the year from the tight end position. 2 games played, 2 touchdowns.
And from what I've seen on tape so far this year, his ability to use the fakes well, his body in the red zone.
Carlson now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10. On second and 10, Watson. And now here is another interception. Trevor Williams with a pick. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this two-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Handoff comes to Cook. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's second and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Throw right side complete to Carter. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That catch good for 5. It's third down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
He'll drop to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a fourth quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards, first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a first and 10. Watson now to throw. Flushed out right. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
To throw is Watson. To throw again. Launching one for Henderson. This is caught inside the 15. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans claw one back. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that...
There he goes left side. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
Let's see if they dial it up this drive. Flush to his right. Sidesteps him at the 35. And he'll find Henderson there. It's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 34. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Going up top. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He'll buy some time right. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Watson looks to throw again. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there. Hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 29. The 30. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when...
Oh, this is blocked. And all the defense has it. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, times have definitely changed on the PAT, on the extra point, haven't they? A lot more effort goes into this play from both sides.
Yeah, because let's face it, a lot of time on extra point. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position. They go play action here on first down. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
And he loses the football a second time. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And that one is his second fumble loss. Not a good look out of your return man.
And not only does he hurt the momentum for his team or even change momentum of the game, but now they've got a decision to make on his own sideline. Does he continue to do that? Do you keep him in that role, or do you bring someone else in at this time?
Now a run with Cook. He's to the 10, and finally down at the 9-yard line. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up second and goal.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Well, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on third. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Good starting field position for them as they come up first and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, look at that. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him a couple on the carry there. Second and 8. Now they got to get to the line quickly. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself,
and now here is another interception. And I think the ball's out. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
The Vikings on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is third down and 12. They're going to look to throw. Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
They'll set up a throw. Forced out to his left. Now he's going to go deep down the left. That's caught inside the 20. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Back to throw here. And that will be incomplete as well. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the